The psychology of the trend-refusalist is rooted in a fundamental resistance to the herd mentality, a biological impulse that once ensured our survival but now largely dictates our consumer habits. To understand why some people never join trends, we must look at the neurobiology of social conformity. For most, the brain's ventral striatum releases dopamine when we align our opinions with the majority. This is a social reward signal. However, for the nonconformist, this reward circuit is either less active or overwritten by the prefrontal cortex, which governs rational, independent thought. They aren't just being stubborn, their brains are literally less sensitive to the chemical high of fitting in. This independence is often fueled by a personality structure high in openness to experience, but low in extroversion or agreeableness. While it seems contradictory, many non-joiners are highly creative and intellectual, yet they lack the social hunger that drives people to seek validation through shared aesthetics. They possess a high need for autonomy, a psychological drive to be the primary author of one's own life. When a trend becomes ubiquitous, it feels like an external imposition on their agency. To adopt a trend is to surrender a piece of their sovereignty to the collective, and for these individuals, that price is too high to pay. There is also the time preference theory. Trend seekers often have a high time preference, seeking immediate gratification through the novelty of the now. In contrast, trend-refusalists usually exhibit low time preference. They are interested in Lindy's Law, a concept suggesting that the future life expectancy of a non-perishable thing, like an idea or a style, is proportional to its current age. If a fashion or a technology has existed for 50 years, it is likely to exist for 50 more. Trends, by definition, are ephemeral. The non-joiner views the adoption of a trend as a poor investment of resources, choosing instead to focus on timeless assets that don't require constant upgrading or replacement. This leads to a phenomenon called social signaling skepticism. In modern society, trends act as a shorthand for status and belonging. By wearing the latest brand or using the latest slang, individuals signal their currency and awareness. The trend avoider, however, often views these signals as low resolution. They believe the true character and competence should be signaled through consistent actions and deep expertise rather than aesthetic shortcuts. They find the performative nature of trends exhausting and intellectually dishonest. For them, the unfiltered self is the only version worth presenting, even if that self appears out of date to the casual observer. We must also consider the fear of inauthenticity. For many who avoid trends, there is a deep-seated anxiety about being fake. They perceive the rapid adoption of a new behavior as a form of identity theft, where the trend wears the person rather than the person wearing the trend. This creates a psychological barrier. The moment they see a massive group of people doing the same thing, that activity becomes contaminated by a lack of originality. This isn't always about being better than others. It is often a defensive mechanism to protect a fragile, highly curated sense of self that can only exist in the absence of popular influence. In the digital age, this resistance has taken on a new form, algorithmic resistance. As AI and social media algorithms become more adept at predicting and shaping human behavior, the act of refusing a trend becomes a political and psychological statement. It is a refusal to be mapped. By staying outside the predictable cycles of viral content and fast fashion cycles, the non-joiner maintains a level of unpredictability. They are the outliers in the data set, the individuals who cannot be easily categorized or sold to. This provides them with a sense of cognitive liberty, the freedom to think thoughts that haven't been pre-packaged by a marketing department. Ultimately, the person who never joins trends is a guardian of cultural diversity. If everyone joined every trend, human culture would be a monolithic, fast-moving wave with no depth. The skeptics, the laggards, and the old-fashioned provide the bedrock. They keep old skills alive, they maintain the value of durable goods, and they prove that human happiness is not dependent on the new. They remind us that while the crowd provides warmth and security, it is often the individual standing alone on the shore who has the clearest view of the horizon. Their psychology is not of lack, but of a different kind of abundance, an abundance of self-reliance.